Hey, it's April 29th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, and hey, that guy right there just got done doing two-man game. It's Bob Ramsey. Rammer, what's going on? You ready to switch from the hoops to the ball fields?
Yeah, let's get to the national pastime.
It's a game 2 of the 4-game series between the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals. It is Adam Wainwright against Madison Bumgarner. Rammer, a matchup of two of the longtime baseball's predominant highlight in the spotlight pitchers, World Series champions. It's a fun game. And Rammer, I didn't know if you knew this, the two guys actually very good friends.
I knew they were friendly, and I know I'd seen where a lot of people get them confused.
Funny you should say that, because Rammer, this is what Adam Wainwright had to say yesterday before the game.
Usually when I'm texting him, it's because somebody thought I was him. And I have to remind him that I looked like this first, since I'm 10 years older than him. So a lot of people, and there's some pictures out there, he does favor me a lot. I don't favor him so much, Tim. He favors me because I'm older. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But in the airport, in the Atlanta airport a few years back, walked into the bathroom, the guy goes, "Madison Bumgarner." No, not Madison. He would not believe me that I wasn't Madison Bumgarner. And that was like the third time that year that happened. So, but he is a good-looking guy, though, Jim.
Adam Wainwright yesterday speaking to the media before the game. Jim Hayes of Bally Sports Midwest, your coworker over at 590 The Fan, with the great pregame questions, as always, for number 50. But yeah, I could see it. I could see it. Speaking of which, I had somebody come to me and tell me I look like Aaron Rodgers today.
There's no question about it. In fact, I think you're doing your beard and your hair like Rodgers, so people will mistake you.
It's happened a few times. I've had people come up to me and say it, but I tell you what, I looked like this before he did. So I started the grayish beard and the long hair before A-Rod did. Hey, let's get to the lineups for the game today.
Real quick, from last night, who's the happiest baseball analyst you know the way the Cardinals played last night? This guy. Taking the ball the other way, making contact, not swinging from your ass, trying to hit every pitch out of the ballpark. That, ladies and gentlemen, is winning baseball.
Whitey Ball was speed on the bases. Ollie Ball apparently is just line drives all over the field with no home runs. The Cardinals, hey, they're going to look like this today. As we mentioned, Madison Bumgarner on the mound. So a lefty on the mound for the D-backs. So Tommy Edman leads off at second base. Paul Goldschmidt's at first. Tyler O'Neill at left. Nolan Arenado at third. Albert Pujols DHing tonight in front of the home crowd. For the Cardinals, Dylan Carlson back in right field and batting sixth. Harrison Bader in center. Yachty behind the plate. And Paul DeJong is at short. For the Diamondbacks, Dalton Varsho is in center. Pavin Smith in right. David Peralta is DHing Seth Beer at first. Cooper Hummel is in left. Ketel Marte is at second. Sergio Alcantara is at third. Geraldo Perdomo is at short, and Jose Herrera behind the plate. Rammer, I know you don't have it in front of you which way the lineup goes or which way they bat on that Diamondbacks team, but it is lefty, 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 and then 5 switch hitters in a row for the Diamondbacks. So you are just going to see left-handed hitter after left-handed hitter 9 times through the order for the Diamondbacks. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, it will be very interesting because of looking at Adam Wainwright's curveball coming to them as opposed to away, and I wonder if that's why they went so heavy. Back in the early 80s when the Cardinals still had Keith Hernandez and had multiple switch hitters, you would get a bunch of guys hitting from the left side, but I don't recall that it was ever this many.
I thought there was a chance this was the case, so I just went and I looked it up, Rammer. This is, I don't know if this is the second time ever because of the switch hitter being worked in there, but back in 2020, in a game on September in 2020, the Tampa Bay Rays had 9 true lefties in their lineup in a game against Andrew Triggs and the Boston Red Sox. So, those were 9 lefties. This is 4 lefties and 5 switch hitters.
Yeah, like I said, Whitey could have done that and did do it a number of times. In the 82, you had lefties on the corner, switch hitter in center field and up the middle on the infield. The year before, you had Templeton, who was a switch hitter, but you also had Ted Simmons. So it's a big advantage when you can turn guys around, and we'll see how they do against the veteran Wainwright in that marvelous curveball.
The Cardinals will have Genesis Cabrera back in their bullpen today. He served his one-game suspension yesterday. After you and I went off the air is when all of the suspensions and fines were let out. Nolan Arenado was suspended for 2 games, but he is appealing his suspension from yesterday. So he played last night, and with him being in the lineup again tonight, unless something changes in the next 3 hours, expect Nolan Arenado's hearing or whatever to continue into the weekend.
He'll probably get one. They'll talk to him. He'll say what he has to say, and they'll probably give him one.
I think I was very surprised by 2, and I wonder if that's the planning behind that was talk to us. You know what? We'll slap you on the wrist and we'll give
have
you
your
one.
lawyer call us. We'll make it a parking ticket instead of a speeding ticket. No points on your license.
I got a few guys that take care of that kind of stuff for me too, so I get it, Nolan. I do. Hey, going into the weekend, Ali Marmol also said that it looks like Jordan Hicks is still set to start on Sunday. Still a little bruising in that wrist, but they're going to. But all signs point to him getting the start in that game. So
as long as it was cut in the wrist and there was no damage to ligament, you worry up the arm a little bit that pitchers can sometimes get that forearm tightness, can affect nerves, but it doesn't appear that that's the case with him. So that's very good news.
We're talking about the starters, Adam Wainwright, Yachty making another start together tonight as they continue their march towards history. Looking back to last night, Dakota Hudson was just, he was on it yesterday. I mean, watching that game, it was flying by because he had that sinker ball working and getting guys to roll over on it.
Yeah. And you can tell going forward though, when he has problems, it's going to be with command, and he's got stuff. He's got the stuff, but can he command it? What do you have? 4 walks yesterday, whatever. So he's got to stay. He's got to trust his stuff and throw strikes. If he does that, he's going to be fine.
As we continue on, usually on Fridays here on Daily Cards Live, we tend to talk a little bit about baseball overall and take a look at what's going on over the weekend. But big news coming out earlier today. It was announced that Trevor Bauer, who has not pitched in almost a year now, since last July, it's announced that he has finally been getting the handed down suspension 2 full seasons by Major League Baseball. So Trevor Bauer, he is going to appeal it, you would imagine, and see what he can get out of it. Maybe time served. I don't know what they're planning, but now 2 full seasons. It should be noted he's been on the commissioner's exempt list. So for the past year, he's been getting paid. So this whole time that he has not pitched, he has been getting paid somewhere around $40 million. But that now stops, and those checks will not be coming now that he has officially been suspended.
It's hard to weigh in on character and abuse issues. He claims consensual. She claims not. It's been in the courts. It doesn't mean it's not ugly and unpleasant. And that's something that every sport, every company has to take into consideration. And so I'm sure no matter what his appeal is, he's going to be out this season. Will he get another opportunity to pitch again next year or ever remains to be seen? I think if you're a betting man, depending on how news of this would play out, maybe next year. But then again, as a sport, as individual teams, which are their own companies within the sport, it might be to the point where they say, yeah, we don't want this type of guy in our club, period.
Rammer, is there a series this weekend that has that's caught your eye?
Well, not other than the Cardinals. I hadn't really looked beyond that one. I'm going to be locked in on it because they, as you pointed out, I won't go to the Joe Roderick must sweep category to get ahead. But let me take a quick look at something else. Oh, a team that intrigues me. We saw the Mets. We know they're good. It's a good divisional matchup with the Phillies. The Phillies are trying some different things. They're not necessarily saying to hell with defense. We're going to try and outmatch you. I think the Phillies are an interesting squad. They're in New York this weekend. And I'm interested to see how that 3-game series turns out. And do they hang with the Mets? I think they'll learn a little bit about themselves this weekend.
Rammer, so I'm taking my kid down to the game tonight. We're going to go down there. We're going to see Adam Wainwright throw to Yachty. We're going to see Albert Pujols in the starting lineup. And then tomorrow morning, he and I are getting in the car. We're driving up to Milwaukee to go see Cubs and Brewers on Saturday night, 6:00 game there. And then turning around on Sunday to go see Angels and White Sox at Comiskey. And it all started because a few weeks ago, he told me that he wanted to see Shohei and Mike Trout play this year. And Rammer, as you know, having young boys at one point, when they tell you that they want to go see a game, you make it happen. So I saw that it was on the schedule, and we're going up there and having a little boys road trip this weekend. You
and your son are making memories you'll never forget. I'm jealous.
Yeah, so he'll have 3 ballparks in 3 days. I'm going to throw a poll up on Twitter this weekend as to what foods I should eat at all of those parks. You think if I bring my helmet from last year's nachos at Miller Park, do you think they would refill it for me at a discounted price?
I don't like your chances, and I'm not sure about – just get a new one.
Okay.
But fathers and sons in baseball – road trips, really good. I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, it should be a fun one, and we're going to be taking up that car that we got over at Munganast, one of the sponsors here of the show. Got my Jeep from Munganast Alton Toyota, and that's the car I'm going to be heading up there on in another Munganast road trip. Rammer, we're also sponsored by your friends at Royal Banks of Missouri.
Royal Banks, while you're in the area, you'll pass up a couple of Royal Banks branches. They're all over now. Royal Banks of Missouri, also in Illinois and Northeast Missouri, but each and every branch feels like your hometown bank, and that's by design. It's a hometown company run by hometown people. They know who you are, and they understand how we think in this metropolitan area. 314-212-1500. Call Royal Banks of Missouri. It's where better service means better banking.
Along with all those ballparks this weekend, Rammer, we're also going to be stopping at the Wallies in Pontiac, Illinois. So that'll be another nice little memory maker up up there as we pull off, drive it up on 55.
Very nice.
This is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you on Monday for another edition of Daily Cards Live right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 330 pre-owned vehicles of all makes and models. And all of them are covered by our St. Louis Acura Promise and backed by our Better Business Bureau A+ rating and 30 years in business. We also service all makes and models of vehicles, including glass and bumper repair, paint touch-ups, and full mechanical services from one of our 24 technicians. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you, no matter what vehicle drives you.